Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Sandy Mack.
And I understand you were talking at the Alien Cosmic Expo. You were talking about stories regarding stones. Tell me about it.
Yes, I was. That's kind of was the title of my presentation, which was Stories from the Stones, the ET Factor in Ancient Sites.
So what's that about?
Well, one of the things that's about is the fact that we really know very little about our own history. We know what a few history books tell us, but we also know that history is written by the victors. And so as far as our ancient history, we may not know the real truth. But there's always information that's been recorded in stones, whether it's stones and crystals or ancient writings and hieroglyphics and that type of things on things that have been found in other places.
Great, so give me a good story.
Well, they have recently discovered a valley in Bosnia where there are 5 pyramids. Underneath the pyramids is a labyrinth of amazing tunnels, and in there are some ceramic structures that contain ancient writings on there, have been undeciphered as of now. The tunnels are under the pyramids, and the pyramid there, one of the largest ones, is 1/3 larger than the Great Pyramid in Egypt and is more fully and closely aligned with North, which is a critical part of that.
Okay, give me another story from the stones.
Another story is that in South Africa there are stone circles, probably about 10 million. I'm not stuttering. 10 million of these stone circles, all unique, all different, from an ancient civilization that was probably at least 300,000 years old and was based on sound. So the stones are unique in that when you tap on them with another stone, they literally ring like a bell.
Well, I'm sure that's sure that story really sounds well when you listen to it.
It is. It's a good story, and I've been there and I've tapped on the stones and I've brought examples of stones back. So this also ties in with ancient civilizations. It also ties in with possible extraterrestrials. It also ties in with things like giants, which can be up to 20 or 30 feet tall, and there's a lot of evidence of that, as well as other species like Bigfoot, Yeti, Sasquatch.
Hold it, go back to the giants.
Yeah, the giants have been indicated.
Where were they found?
They've been found all over the world. All over the world.
How big are these giants?
The largest recorded that we know of is about 30 to 35 feet tall.
And that's based on the bones that they found there?
Based on the bones and based on, in some cases, the mummies that have been found in solid rock cylinder graves in southern Utah, northern Arizona, southern Colorado.
Did they find the daddies too and the babies, or I'm just joking?
They have found these perfectly preserved mummies that in some cases still even have flesh on the bones and hair on the head, wearing garments, very finely made garments, well decorated, well ornamented, and artifacts such as little metal plates that have writings on them, such things as that.
Now, I think you talked about the Sasquatch genome.
The Sasquatch Genome Project, yes. There is a woman, a PhD researcher, scientist, very eminent scientist, that has done extensive work doing a DNA sample testing of the DNA from some Sasquatch or Bigfoot or Yeti tissue samples and bones that have been found, and they have found that there is a high percentage of the human process in there as well. And the thinking is that this is another evolutionary line. They're actually more advanced than we are, as we only have supposedly 3 DNA are activated. They have over 36 DNA that are activated at this time. But they're an ancient race, and they have been spotted in most parts of North America, as well as in Europe and in Tibet and such places as that. They're very conscious beings. They're very highly evolved. They are capable of going between the 4th, 5th, and 3rd dimension. They come here and play sometimes.
Well, yeah, they're very tall, so they should have no problem.
They can be quite tall, yes.
Okay. What else did you talk about in terms of stories from the stones?
Well, I talked about, like I said, the giants. I talked about looking outside the current scientific model. That the model right now of science is that it's pretty narrow. It has to be proven, it has to be replicable, it has to be in a laboratory authenticated according to Newtonian science. But that doesn't really fit the quantum reality. So I presented a new model of a woman named Dr. Ruth Ketzner, and she has recently written a book, and it talks about, if you imagine an iceberg, the tip of the iceberg would be science as we know it. The under part of under the water would be the quantum reality, and that the ocean or the sea that the iceberg is floating in is consciousness as we know it.
Okay. Now you do a number of things here. Tell me about your different modalities and skill sets that you have here.
I've been working in this field about 30 years. My background is in mental health. My training is actually in criminology and fine arts are my degrees. I teach alternative healing. I teach a variety of different modalities and systems, as well as going to these ancient places, researching sites, and trying to access knowledge of how healing and such things were done in really ancient times, and be able to bring that information back, as well as teaching it in a practical, simple way to people now. So I'm an initiated Peruvian Inca shaman. I've studied in Peru, did a 3-year training program. I work with past life resolution, changing core beliefs, dowsing, and many other systems.
Great. Well, for more information, to get more stories from stones and from what you do as well, your website is?
My website is designanewdestiny.com. Designanewdestiny.com.
Thank you.
Thank
I think
you.
it's time for people to design their new destiny.
Absolutely. If they don't like the one they're at now, they can go design a new one.
As long as they know they have the power to design it. A lot of people don't know that.
They've got the power. They need to just have the desire, and I've got the tools, and we can make it happen together.
Great. Thank you.